Hello everybody, it is Friday Souls. It is update Friday. If you want to see what's been going in my sewing room, please stay tuned. Hi guys, I think it's been 3 weeks since I came on, and I just wanted to give you an update of what's been going on. Far as my sewing is concerned. So one of the things that I was very excited was I got this suit. I thrifted this suit for $1. It was the top and the bottom. But let me show you. I put this panel over here on the side, but it made it look even older. So I'm taking the panels out, and I'm going to replace the panels with the lace. This lace, I think that's going to look much better. So I'm going to replace it with that. And I thought I was going to be able to do the bottoms into maybe a skirt or a shorts, but I don't think so. But what I do think is going to happen, and sometimes when you are frustrated, you have to walk away from stuff. So I had to walk away from this because I really want this to work out, because I really do like the way that this is looking on me. But when I put this in, I'm going to actually use the lining that came out of the skirt behind this and make the panels on the side. But I want to find, and I have not looked yet, but hopefully I have some more of this in my stash. If not, I'm going to order it, because I think what I want to do is make a pair of lace pants to wear with this, but I'm going to line it with the brown, same color brown lining that the either the color of the suit or the same kind that is on the inside, which either or I think will be okay. Yeah, because they're the same, it's just shiny. So if I can find that brown lining and line the pants with that, I think that's going to be really, really cute. So that's what my idea is with this. Next, I want to show you guys what I have been working on to get my sojo back. After I was disappointed with this, I started working on one of my favorite patterns, and so let me show that to you guys right now. All right, if you've been watching me, you know one of my favorite patterns is this McCall's pattern. I love it. I have made this in the past, and I'll try to put pictures up of the previous versions of this. But I actually love this because oftentimes when you become a certain age, you are concerned with fashion, but you also are concerned with wearability, as far as we go to the restroom more sometimes, things are going on. So with this, even though it's a one piece, when I tell you it is easy to get on and off as far as going to the restroom and functionability, I love it. Now, so what I'm going to show you is two different versions that I did. The first version is like kind of strictly by the pattern, and the second version is a pattern hack. But I also wanted to show you guys how I elevated the jumpsuits to make them look better. And I did that by using Sublimation. But let's start with the first one. So here is my first one, and I want to say this is what they call like a Liverpool knit, I think. I do remember, I think I got these from Hobby Lobby, both of them. I have this color, and then I used this color for the second one. The colors, once I got to this fabric, I was like, what was I thinking when I picked these colors out? But the colors were just eye for me. So once I made it, I noticed there was a mistake. The crotch was not fitting the way I wanted. So on the second one, I did make adjustments to the crotch, and the crotch is better. Now, with that being said, I wanted to add a little something. And in my pictures, you'll see that I added a black, like a little, cover up. And I also added the bottom, I added an animal print. So, and I did that using Sublimation. So if you're not familiar with Sublimation, is you have to have a Sublimation printer, and it only uses Sublimation ink, and you have to use the heat press to put the picture onto the garment. But what happens is when the heat hits the ink, it forms a gas which infuses inside your fabric. So it's not going to come out when you wash, not going to come out when you dry. It's in here permanently. So this is the first one that I came up with, and this is the View B from This Is McCall's 8245, and I made a size extra large. Now I am going back down in some of my weight, so I used the extra large to make the other one that I'm going to show you. But I noticed today that it was too big, especially at the top. So the next hack that I do is going to be fitting it more towards my body, and I may even need to go down, because what did I say? I use the extra, I can look on a pattern. Yeah, I used the extra large for up here, and when it got to my waist, I graded it out to the XXL, which I probably need to do the reverse. I probably need to do the same but go down. So I probably need to do large and then grade out to XL from the waist down. So that'll probably be what I do next as far as trying to hack the pattern. Plus I have another idea that I plan to try with this pattern. So that, like I say, this is the first one. This was actually View B to the point. No extras done to it or anything. With the second view, I wanted to add a sleeve on, so that's kind of where I am in my hacking process. I created a sleeve, but this sleeve was just attached to the pattern itself. So when I cut out, it cut out the whole piece. So I'll show you what I did with that. So you can see I cut out this whole entire piece. I added the sleeve, and it's really wide because I wanted it to be kind of big. I do feel like the sleeve is too big, but I'm going to come down on the sleeve, and I'm probably going to take about 4 inches out of the sleeve, I think, on the next hack. And what I discovered is cutting it in one piece probably wasn't the best option for this pattern and this material. So what I will do is cut the pattern the normal way, and then I'll add a sleeve to it. So let me show you the second one. So here's the second one with the sleeve. So you'll see that there is a seam because you cut 2 front and 2 back. So there is a seam. Now with this one, it was coming off my shoulder. So, and on this one as well, let me see if I can show you. So on this one, I put in a piece of just cotton binding just to keep it and help from stretching out of place. I use what is it? I think it's called twill tape to help with keeping this in place and on my shoulder. But by it being so big, I also created this strap on the back to keep it on my shoulders, and the strap has a little elastic, just because that's how you come in it from the top. And so if it needed to stretch, I needed a little elastic. So, and it gives it body and structure. So this is the second one, and this is the embellishment that I did at the bottom. I love it. I am debating if I should maybe add a little embellishment to the top. I'm going to put pictures up here, and some of my pictures are done with AI just to show you the different options of styling it. But for the most part, the first set of pictures should be actually pictures of me. I use the AI so I could, you know, or what if I wore it with a necklace? What if I wore it with this belt? So I could show you those options. But I am going to show you how I did this with sublimation right now. So I'm going to show you this before I even put it on my actual garment. I did make my garment completely before I've added the print to it. So this was the first piece of scrap that I used, and I was initially going to put polka dots on it. So this is a black polka dot, and this was a hot pink. Then I kept looking at like the pink was just so vibrant. So I was like, well, what if I do, like, I got inspiration from my moo actually. So what if I do leaf prints in different colors? So I printed this on a sample. And then I was still contemplating the polka dots, so you can see where I did different polka dots. Which the green polka dots, now that I'm looking at it, would have been awfully cute, because they do pop. But I did that. So that's how I got the idea of doing the bottom in those colors, from actually wearing my favorite muumuu that I'm wearing today. But I do have and I'm not going to go much into detail because there are so many other videos out there, but the video that I highly recommend is the one by Jennifer Maker, and I will try to put a link to that in my description on how to convert just a regular EcoTank Epson printer into a sublimation printer. I have a Sawgrass. It is secondhand, and once I did not do my research before purchasing it, and the ink to replace is like $300, and I think there's another ink you can use in the place of it, which is fine. But my issue came with, there was a whole nother learning curve on learning to use the Sawgrass when I already know how to use the Epson converted. So to convert an Epson was simple. I purchased the Epson. If you're a warranty person, you probably need to go with a Sawgrass if you want to continue, because once you convert the Epson, it voids the warranty, even if you bought which you should buy a new one. Even if once you buy the new one, it's once you put the sublimation ink, because it is technically not a sublimation printer, you void the warranty on it. Anywho, it takes a few minutes. All you do is you buy the printer, and instead of putting the regular ink, you're gonna put sublimation ink. But one thing I did notice that I thought was awesome when how my colors came out was, and this is something I had never used before, I used this Hippo ink. And for some reason, I bought Hippo paper and did not remember that I purchased it. And I was looking for my sublimation paper. And I said, well, let me just open this and see how it does. I feel like it was way more vibrant. Let me see. Than this one. So you can see this is like just black dots, but you can see that it's faded. And this pink is so much more vibrant. And this is on the Hippo paper, and this is on the ASUP paper. And you can even see when the black dot came out. See, it looks faded. Don't get me wrong, it looks great on this. I think that was fine. That was no problem. So I'm not down to the ASUP paper. It's just for this. I'm assuming because I use the Hippo ink and the Hippo paper together, it just gave me more of a vibrancy. And this is my personal opinion, and there's no diss to either company, because I have used ASUP paper for years on sublimation. But this was my first time using the Hippo ink, so for whatever reason I bought the Hippo paper, and they work great together. So I'm gonna just go over briefly how I did the sublimation. To test it, I just got a scrap, but like I say, the garment was completely finished when I did it. I just kind of I used my Cricut heat press, and then I have a Cricut heat mat that I cover in parchment paper that I get from Sam's on a big roll. So I just laid my fabric down. Let me show you. Then I put the design on here. Now, normally you would use heat tape, but in this instance, I did not. And then I just covered it with the parchment paper. So you can, when it's small, you can make a folder, but I usually use 2 pieces, one on top of this mat and then one on top of the actual heating process, because once I forgot to do that and I got it on my mat, and that also keeps anything from coming because it will transfer to the next garment. So I'm doing it at 385 for 45 seconds. So now I put just a little pressure from my hand. This, I will say this, right now I just have this heat press because my big heat press I gave to my daughter because she does more with it than I do. So I do have to get another, or the heavier heat press, and you will want a little pressure on it. It just helps. But for this, I just put minimum pressure, just holding it down. And like I said, it's 385 degrees for 45 seconds. This is going to go off. Then you put this back. Now, Cricut heat press does come with this base to sit your heat press on. So then I just open this up. And you can see that, let's see. This is what it started off look, and this is what it looks like. That's almost completely gone. And this is what we have. And I just went around the bottom part of my garment with it. And so I got the desired design. Now, I would like to know, and I probably should do a picture with the AI to see how the print would look on the sleeve. I didn't want it to be too much, but I like the way they came. I was thinking about adding some to the sleeve, but when I saw the bottom and how vibrant and bright it was, I was like, that might be just enough that I needed. But you can see how beautiful that is coming out. That is just so super gorgeous to me. So I have all these things that have extra that I printed out that I'm gonna let my grandchildren design their own shirts, because they're coming to stay a week with me, and so I'll save them in case maybe they want to put a leaf on their shirt or something. But anywho, that is what I did with my garment, and I just wanted to show you guys is you could just elevate. If you're into sublimation, that's fine. This is something extra you can do in case you did not know that. I just wanted to show you how you can elevate a plain garment into something different. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this episode. I am so glad that you turned in. Remember, as always, you are so special to me. Thanks for watching my videos and supporting me. Have a wonderful holiday and stay safe, guys. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.